world's most fabulous ocean voyage. Fresh air, sea breezes, views of breathtaking splendor, and the sights of a lifetime are yours when you board the Staten Island ferry boat at the foot of the Battery in Manhattan. All this begins when the ferry boat starts to leave the slip and heads due south for Castle William on the northeast tip of Governor's Island, which is the first navigational landmark in setting a course for Staten Island. Out in the bay, below the Hudson River mouth, the boat turns left into the harbor's main ship channel. To the right is New Jersey, and to the left are the shores of Brooklyn. Here in the midst of busy water traffic, you can look back at a magnificent world wonder, the New York skyline. On past Ellis Island, where millions pass through on their way to America, and the Statue of Liberty, the harbor becomes alive with activity. Boats, lighters, ships, and barges churn across the harbor in every direction. For this is the world's busiest seaport. Adding to the busy hubbub are the Staten Island ferry boats. Winter and summer, through rain, fog, and snow, good weather and bad, they carry about 25 million passengers and almost 2 million vehicles every year. Everything from baby carriages to trailer trucks. But the Staten Island Ferry is more than just a means of transportation. It is one of New York's major tourist attractions, where 100 dramas are played daily. Aside from being the busiest port of call in the world, New York Harbor is the home of over 4,000 tugs, barges, and lighters, carrying cargo from stone, gravel, sand, freight cars, and oil. Freighters, the world's greatest ocean liners, Navy ships, and pleasure craft, bring thousands of travelers, tourists, and sightseers. Cargo ships from faraway countries, the steaming tropics, and the Arctic nations sail in and out of New York Harbor night and day. A constant panorama unfolds as the ferry boat churns on its 20-minute ride to the St. George Pier in Staten Island. Slowly, the boat glides into the pier while its riders, cars, and trucks go ashore. Many of the passengers, however, go through the terminal, turn around, and get right back on. For every trip carries sightseers and tourists who ride the ferry for pleasure and for taking pictures. Probably more pictures, both movies and stills, are taken of New York Harbor than of any other harbor in the world. Pausing for a few moments as though she were resting on her return trip to Manhattan, passengers, cars, and trucks stream aboard the boat. Tourists laden with cameras, commuters, sweethearts, the tired, the poor, and the rich all start the ride back while the kids play sailor. Well, this is another voyage to see the world's most spectacular sights. The scenes in the boats change constantly, and no two trips are alike. Every crossing is a new, thrilling adventure. The return trip to the Battery, of all the sights in the world, is the most impressive. The riders stand out on the deck in every kind of weather to see the wondrous changing scenes of the harbor. For this is one of America's finest shows. This is the greatest feature of a visit to New York, and a haven for lovers and honeymooners. Passengers stroll around the deck for exercise. Some feed the gulls, and others are refreshed at the snack bar. But all keep an eye on the bay, for no one ever knows what might be seen next. On the way, the ferry boat meets and passes dozens of other craft, from small police launches to large freighters. Tugboats are always to be seen everywhere, carrying everything from refuse to boxcars. Even the steady commuters who ride the ferry thousands of times line the rail, never tiring of the ever-changing panorama or the sight of sleek ocean liners, those floating palaces that head out to sea carrying passengers to foreign ports in every part of the globe. Swiftly, skillfully, the ferry boat steadily goes on her way to her pier at the foot of Whitehall Street in Manhattan. Ferry boats leave every 10 to 15 minutes for the trip across this teeming harbor, which is 5 miles from the Battery to Staten Island and 4 miles wide from Brooklyn to the New Jersey shore. Lined on both sides with freighters flying flags of all nations, at anchor waiting for cargoes or dock space. The New York skyline, with its towering buildings, seems to rise out of the water, and the Brooklyn and Manhattan bridges hang suspended like beautiful webs in the hazy sky. The harbor is a world apart, and the views are breathtaking, for nothing like this exists anywhere. The building spires grow larger and seem like a curtain rising on a fantastic stage setting as the ferry comes closer to shore. Everyone stands in awe, for this will soon be the end of the world's most romantic and wonderful sea trip, the ferry boat ride to Staten Island, where all your dreams and all your adventures come true. For here is truly the world for a nickel.